In this video, we are going to be creating our first HTML file. But before getting started to build websites using HTML, all you will be needing is a browser and a text editor. Now it doesn't matter what OS you are on, for example Linux, Mac, etc. If there is something specific about that OS, I will be mentioning about it. Now your system already has some default text editor and browser. For Windows, it will be its Notepad and Edge, but these are not great for web development, especially the text editors. For browser, I would suggest that you use Google Chrome. It's the most popular in the web dev community. It's fast to adapt to new features and it has a great web development tools. So second to Chrome, I would suggest that you use Firefox. Now for text editor, you don't need to use Notepad because it doesn't have any features, no syntax highlighting or anything like that. There are a lot of text editors as you can see in this slide, but what I would recommend and what I am gonna use in this course is Visual Studio Code. It's very fast, very intuitive, it has a lot of great features and it has some great extensions, and overall it's one of the best text editors out there for web development. So if you want to install Google Chrome and VS Code, just go to google.com/chrome and install Chrome and download and install Chrome. And if you want to download VS Code, just go to code.visualstudiocode.com and download for Windows. So it's just a simple installation process. So if you want to install it for Mac OS, you can, and for Linux you can easily install. So after installing, it will be like this. So this recent text that you here you see, I have already worked with VS Code, so that's why it is showing. But if you are installing VS Code for the first time, it won't be showing it. So you can also change the color theme, like if you want a light you can install, and if you want a light plus theme you can install, but I think the default one is very nice. So the first icon here, it is your Explorer. So when you have a web application or website, all of them will be present here. So now what I am gonna do is, I am gonna open a folder from the desktop called as HTML beginners. So after opening, as you can see, this is for creating a new file, and you can also create a new folder over here. So what I am gonna do is, I am gonna create a file name and I am gonna name it index.html. So I am gonna create a h1 like as you can see, if I type P and press tab, it's automatically created. It's because there is something called emmet in VS Code, which I will be discussing while studying these tags. So in P I would write something like so. Now as you can see, my font size is very big. So what if you want to change the font size here, what you will be doing is just click this gear icon. So it's a settings icon. So you can also use a keyboard shortcut Ctrl plus comma to open settings. So I will be showing you different keyboard shortcuts while going through this course. So as you can see, you can change the font size out here. So I have kept it as 26 because for the people who are seeing this course, it must be visible to see. So that's why I kept it as 26. And also another thing I'm gonna change is a tab space. So what is this tab space? It's what it means is that it is the number of spaces that it indents when you hit tab. So in most languages like Python or JavaScript or like HTML, so this indentation is very important. So already I have changed it to 2, but the default it will be 4. So I have changed it to 2. So I am also gonna go over these different things that are present here. So this one here is a search tab. So you can search for a particular element in your website. and then this is a replace if you want to change a particular thing here, and this is something called as a version control with get, which we are not going to get into right now, and this is for debugger for programming, and which we are also not going to get into right now. So this last one right here, it is your extension, and we can extend the functionality of the VS Code, but it does, as you can see here, it shows us some popular recommendation out here. So if you want to install something, let's say like I'm gonna install for JavaScript. So as you can see here, if you want to install this, just click on install and it will automatically be installed. So I have actually expanded this, but if you expand this, as you can see here, the number of downloads that it is showing here. So I will be installing some of the extensions as we go through this course. So now let's go to our file that we created, and I am gonna save this, and I am gonna open it. So as you can see here, I have created an H1 which is a heading text, and a paragraph which is just a regular size text. So as you can see here, this is the index.html file that I have created, and it is showing here. So in the URL you can see the path where your file is present, but if you upload this file to say to a domain, to a web host or something, it will actually be your domain name that is present here. So this file name will be replaced by a domain name. So there is a reason why I call this file as index.html, and this name is significant because your index file will always be the home page. So if you upload it to a domain, let's say mywebsite.com or any domain name, and if we go there and if we load that website, it's gonna load your index.html as the first file because it is your home page. So it's very important to understand that whenever you want your home page to be called as, it must be called as index.html, and any other page you can call whatever you want. Let's say if you have a about page that describes about your info, and if you can name it as about.html, and if you upload it to a web host, let's say mywebsite.com, and it will show as you can go to mywebsite.com/about.html, and it will show your about page. But remember, index.html is significant because it's a home page. So alright, we have a HTML file and opened it in here. Now in the next video, I am going to show you how to structure an HTML file, because as you can see, this is not a correct format, this is wrong. So there are some things that you need to write in order to write a valid HTML document. So that's a brief overview of how to create an HTML file. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video. So don't forget to hit the bell icon.